Hey everyone, how's it going? It's John Taylor. I'm on my news desk and prop trading and trading desk here today. Hey, do me a favor, give my video a like and a share, and please subscribe to my channel too. Wow, today is Monday, December 1st, 2025. A lot of news going on, first day of December. Got a lot of geopolitics news, not a lot on the economic calendar today. They're December 1st, you got S&P final U.S. manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing report at 10 o'clock, and then some Fed speak with Jerome Powell speaks tonight at 8 p.m. So that's on the calendar. This week, we got unemployment and employee price index, S&P 500 PMI. Friday's a big day, PCE, core inflation, consumer credit. So these are not much on the first week of December, but let's go look at the news on bar chart first. I look at geopolitics and then socioeconomics. Stock market's going to open up in about 15 minutes. S&P futures are off about 45 points. Crude oil at 58.96. A VIX dipping at 18. Gold bullion is doing great. I own a lot of gold bullion and silver bullion. So stocks set to open lower as bond yields climb, and U.S. PCE inflation data is awaited again at 10 a.m. Neighbors turn to each other in what may call mutual aid. So neighbors are helping each other. U.S. stock futures dip as crypto takes another beating and oil prices surge. Why Cyber Monday could break spending records despite economic uncertainty. Target. So this is being reported on bar chart. Is Target underperforming S&P 500? Target and then Starbucks are trying to restructure. Copper bull case, Dr. Copper, looking at commodities. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Informational purposes only. Read my risk disclosure below. Equinix stocks performed. PNC financial stock underperforming the S&P 500. Carrier Global stock underperforming, Roper Technologies. So there's news on that. This is bar chart. So let's go over the major market overview quick. Let's see here. S&P minis off 43 points. NASDAQ off about 225 points. Dow future minis off about 200 points. The VIX again at 18.67. The Dixie, the US dollar at 99. The 10-year, we got to watch a yield on the 10-year at 113-000. Crude oil, 58.95 to the barrel. Gold surging at $4,277 to the ounce. Silver pumping. I own a lot of silver bullion. It's at almost $58 an ounce. I'll show you some of my silver products, but these things, I own thousands of these. You can see it in this tray. Thousands of these products I'm selling now on eBay. And then I got to find out, where do I go with these hyperinflated silver bullion dollars. So I'm looking at Bitcoin. I DCA Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana twice a month. So today is DCA day on December 1st. So I'll be purchasing some Bitcoin on the dippy dip, some Ethereum on the dippy dip, XRP on the dippy dip, Solana on the dip. So I'm selling again some of my silver bullion products at a huge premium on eBay, and then reallocating into, and I'm also increasing my position in MicroStrategy and strategy. So I'll talk more about that. Coffee market, cocoa market. So the stocks that are leaders, Nvidia have been in the news, Tesla, Alphabet is doing great. Google's amazing. Meta platforms, Broadcom, Synopsys, MicroStrategy, actively traded, and Advanced Micro Devices. So this is what's being reported on the bar chart. Now stay with me. I'll give you free alpha at the end, or to give you a teaser to take a look at the different MicroStrategy and Bitcoin. I'm accumulating such. And then you can see that there's a lot of news going on now Chanos warns of debt risk tied to Nvidia AI chips. Nvidia's GPUs have been used as collateral by emerging cloud companies to secure big loans. So people are using computer chips as an asset to get into debt. Businesses are doing so. U.S. stock futures slide, Nvidia retreats as mood turns downbeat. So Bitcoin off about 6%. SoftBank founder states, "I was crying to sell Nvidia shares." Treasuries fall as Japan sell-off ripples through bond market. So Japan, a lot of news in Japan with the carry forward trade on the yen trade. Synopsys shares surge as Nvidia invests $2 billion in Synopsys. Bitcoin plunges to below 86,000 in a risk-off start to December. Wow. I hope Bitcoin goes to 10,000. Everyone capitulates and sells it, and then I'm able to scoop it up, man. And then it goes above 125,000. So we'll see. But Eli Lilly cuts prices to widen access for obesity drugs. Why Wall Street doesn't know if Santa will show up this year. Former Gap CEO Target has to get back to being Target. Oh, man. So there's Compag stock sinks after massive data leak. Stock symbol CPNG. Pardon me. Airbus warns of quality issues on some A320 aircraft panels. What is Giving Tuesday? How to donate to an annual day of charitable giving. So Leggett and Platt about $16 billion. Stock symbol LEG. Omnicom. They're going to cut 4,000 jobs and shut several agencies after IPG takeover. Stellantis in Germany news. BHP is said to have offered $40 billion for Anglo bid. India e-commerce. So this is the news. Crypto torrid run, retail spending, key earnings. Why Bitcoin crypto is crashing. What the chart shows about where to put your money, So this is, the stocks, top gainers, TMC, AG, First Majestic, oil stocks have not done so well, but the silver mining stocks have been doing great. So that's what's being reported. Most active again, Nvidia and Intel, Bitfarms Limited, BITF. So that's the news there being reported. And let's look on the left, see what CNN is reporting. I look at both sides of the news on the political spectrum. Trump's threats, big war with Venezuela closer as legal fears mount. So Venezuela has a lot of crude oil at Lake Maracaibo. So, lands are, wars are usually fought on or over lands that are rich in natural resources. But also there's a lot of geopolitics going on with Cuba and Venezuela and, the East versus the West. Russia, China, Iran are, allies to Cuba. And there's been sanctions for years with Cuba and now Venezuela. So it's the fight of communism. Concerns are emerging that the administration's lethal strikes against alleged drug vessels have infringed the laws of war. So that's what's being reported on CNN. Trump envoy heads to Russia. Another spoiler may be ahead. So this is CNN. We'll look at Fox here in a moment. Opening statements are underway in Brian Walsh's trial. Okay, can't talk about that. It's not PC. It's too hot for the tube. So stay with me to the end. I give you free alpha. I run in about 10 minutes. So this is CNN. So that's the left. Let's look at the right on Fox News. I do this every morning. It's my morning routine where I look at geopolitics and then socioeconomics. Then I formulate a trading plan for myself on my trading desk. Fed panel strikes down Trump's prosecutor pick for Alina Habba in blue state battle. So there's a legal defeat going on Fox News here. Special election may reveal early warning signs for the 2026 midterms. archaeologic find, warrior from vanished civilization, one stunningly rare thing. Wow. Wow. So big news on Fox News here. Steelers after headbutt, and man, they're George Clooney. So, wow. George Clooney versus Brad Pitt. So there's rivalry there. So this is the Fox News. So let's see what's being reported on Wolf Street. I always like to look at Wolf Street. It gives the news different perspective. So mortgage rates are not too high. What's too high are home prices that exploded 40 to 70% in 2 years, creating an affordability crisis. So that's being reported. New vehicle inflation, the Ford 150 XLT and Toyota Camry LE price index. Unreal, hyperinflation in cars. Amazing how central bank money printing reversed around the world after inflation shock. So Americans splurge at restaurants. I had already talked about that. So that's the news. Let's how the stock market's going to open up here in about 7 minutes. So let's look at this. So Nvidia's stock, I'm in there. Let's take a look at strategy real quick. Stay with me. Again, not financial advice. It's informational purposes only. Here's my my new Bentley hat that Hallman Motors gave me there at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. Stock set to open. Let's see strategy. MSTR is a symbol. Strategy stock is 100% sell, off about 4% this morning. So I'm starting to accumulate. I'm selling some of my silver bullion products and then taking those hyperinflated dollars and then purchasing Bitcoin, Solana, XRP, Ethereum, because they're tanking, and then selling into the strength of the silver bullion. I won't sell all of my silver bullion, but it's nice to take that one asset class that's hyperinflated and purchase something that's wholesale. MicroStrategy is the time to purchase the stock shares. It's off about 4% in pre-market, close to 5% dip, 100% strong sell. So then let's look at 𝐵KCH. I'll be purchasing it today, the blockchain ETF. Let's take a look at the stock shares in 𝐵KCH. Companies like IREN Limited and Coinbase and Bitminer. IREN Limited is my biggest holding in that ETF. Stock's probably off huge this morning. Time to buy the dip in it. It's off this morning, early pre-market, about 7.5% for IREN Limited. And it's part of my synthetic Bitcoin mining rig. So, you can check it out too. I don't run commercials on my YouTube channel, but you can always see the links below. I'll put it in there about my new ebook that I recently penned on mastering agentic AI, from LLM prompts to autonomous systems for the artificial intelligence. Check out the links below. You'll see it. You can read it for free on Amazon Kindle. Now, so Coinbase, what's going on with Coinbase stock shares in pre-market? Coinbase this morning off about 5.5% on Coinbase shares. Bitminer off about 7.5%. Applied Digital stock tanking. Man, I'm buying the dip, and Applied Digital is off 5.5% this morning. So the Bitcoin mining and cipher mining, let's see, these stock shares are dipping with the rout in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin cipher mining is off about 9%. So I'm going to be scooping up these shares this morning, increasing my allocation to such. And I also look at Block, BLOK, and looking to purchase additional shares in it. It owns MicroStrategy. It's off about 3.5 to 4% in pre-market. So the stock shares, Robinhood I love Robinhood. I've owned stock in Robinhood for well over 5 years. So Robinhood stock off this morning about 5%. Everything's good in the hood. Galaxy Digital Holdings, Cipher Mining, 𝐓𝐇𝐈𝐒. See what's going on with 𝐓𝐇𝐈𝐒. 𝐓𝐇𝐈𝐒 shares are off about 9% this morning. So my number one stock pick is very high risk, is MicroStrategy, stock symbol MSTR, not financial advice again, opinion only. So I'm accumulating strategy stock in a very progressive trade, and then taking the hyperinflated silver bullion trade and selling silver bullion, and then purchasing the strategy stock. So it could go to zero. Apparently BlackRock and other big funds and type of companies are shorting MicroStrategy. The word is because they want MicroStrategy to fail in a sense. It's Peter Schiff versus Michael Saylor, and they're battling it out over gold bullion versus Bitcoin. So BlackRock, the word is they're shorting MicroStrategy stock, and so that MicroStrategy, I don't know, might have issue with its bond yield and ability to pay its debt. So that's the word on the street. Ethereum ETF, I'll be purchasing it today. The Grayscale Ethereum Trust, I have an allocation to it. It's off about 7%. So that's what we have today on my trading desk and news desk. So the stock market's going to open in 2 minutes. Let's see what it does here. So that's really the news, Venezuela, the oil market, Cuba, the Ukraine or Russia and North Korea, all these different nations, and the Gaza, see what's going on with Israel and Gaza, and peace in the Middle East, as they say. So, man, unreal news. So that's my plan. I'll purchase SPY ETF today. SPY is the S&P 500 fund. I'll purchase BKCH, increase my allocation to it because it's dipping. Increase my allocation to Block, BLOK ETF. And then I'll continue the DCA ETH, 𝐇𝐎𝐿 ETF. And then I'm also going to DCA Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and Solana today. So let's see how the cryptocurrency market's looking. I like Coinbase, they do really well. So does Gemini. Gemini's really great. They recently went public. So these exchanges are leaders here. I like the US-based exchanges. So that's what we have. Let's see here. When you have these different, let's see what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's tanking. Run at about 18 minutes. So we'll see here. Bitcoin off about 5.7%, off 5,000 points. So I can't wait to buy the dip today in Bitcoin. It was as low as 84,700 on the Bitcoin. So now also let's see Ethereum. Man, all red everywhere. Ethereum down to 27.96, about 2,800 approximately on Ethereum. Now let's look at Solana's active. I'll be buying some Solana Tay on a nice DCA on Solana, and then also XRP off about 8% this morning. So that's what we have. Zcash is tanking. The privacy tokens had a huge run because of some ETF news. Then, man, XRP just tanked. So we got off about 8% on XRP. Litecoin is off 8%. Dogecoin off about 10%. Chainlink, the old stinky link. Dog with hat is off. AVAX, and the top movers today on crypto, the percentage movers are Zcash, dog with hat, Peanut the squirrel's off 12%, Mondog, PopCap is off 12%, Pump off 15%. So these are the stocks and the cryptos that are trading in this space. So I have an allocation to such. So the Bitcoin dip was amazing. You know, again, they always say, careful what you wish for. So I hope, and it's not politically correct, but I hope Bitcoin dips to 10,000, you know, and then of course all the margin. I tip my new Bentley hat to all those who are on the margin on the Bitcoin. I don't trade on the margin, so I own what I own. So that's good. So we'll see with Bitcoin. Is it going to go to zero? I doubt it. You know, so we're having a nice, I've had 4 times I've been in Bitcoin for well over 10 years. And I've had my position in Bitcoin go against me 90% on the huge dippy dip, only for Bitcoin then to go back up to a new all-time high. So here we go again. So the stock market's just opened. 𝐵𝐘𝐒 share is off. I'm going to purchase some of it live here. So let's see here. 𝐵𝐘𝐒 off about 6% at the open. So I'm going to purchase some of it. Just waking up, having my first cup of coffee here. It's early for me. Global X blockchain ETF. So review the order. I'm buying Bitcoin Global X fund here, 𝐵𝐘𝐒 live. Just purchased it. Purchased it live at what price? At $76.80. So, you know, it's dipping. Market's just opening up with it, so you haven't got a true pricing yet on it. And then Block, BLOK, is off. A big position in MicroStrategy. So we're going to purchase it. Also, to do an allocation to it. The Amplify Blockchain Technology ETF. We purchase it. All right, so that's what we have there. And then let's see S&P 500, see how NVIDIA is doing. Stay with me to the end, and please give my videos a like and a share, and please subscribe to my channel. So S&P 500 is up this morning. In pre-market, it was off about as low as, real early off about 1%, but it's trying to tread water there and pump a little bit. So, I'm positioned, profitable in my position in the S&P 500. So let's see how NVIDIA is trading this morning. It's been in the news. NVIDIA is catching a bid up from 173.40, so I like it, and so NVIDIA is looking great. Let's see what other stock shares are doing great. Apple Computer. Apple Computer is doing well, trading at $278 a share. So that's what I have, folks, for my trading desk. Again, it's John Taylor on my prop trading desk and news desk here. And, let's look at SLV, the pump and the iShares Silver Trust. I don't like the ETF and such, but I like, it's up, look, it's doing good. It's up about 2.5% this morning at $52. So that's it. That's what I have for today. Thanks for staying with me. Please like and share. Let's get the word out. Please subscribe to my channel. And you can see here, you can always help support my channel too. I have a Patreon link there too. It helps me build the channel up. So thanks everyone. Again, tip my hat. All you margin players out there in Bitcoin, man, something else. So have an awesome, great day. And I always say this, I give thanks for my abundant supply now manifested. I have it now. Thanks everyone. Have a great, super wonderful day.